What to do about aphids? I like the story, right? So in 2016, my husband mulched our beds with nice black mulch.
Okay.
Not long after, I had aphids. They demolished my knockout rose bushes so much that we had to pull them up. I had purchased baskets of mixed petunias for years from the same nursery, and it showed out every year until the mulch showed up. I haven't bought my annual baskets of petunias since 2020 because of the aphids.
Okay.
I don't think the mulch and aphids were a coincidence. What can I do so that I can once again enjoy my flowers without the aphids showing up and eating my efforts? And this is Lisa from Petersburg, Tennessee.
Tennessee.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's a nice little story there, right?
Tennessee story. Okay.
Yeah, what do we think? Mulch, and then here comes the aphids.
I have been racking my brain. I do not see a connection between mulch and the presence of the aphid. I'm not denying that they didn't happen at the same time.
Right.
But I don't think that the introduction of mulch to the landscape was a catalyst or an aid in any way for the blow up in population of aphids. Now, also, it seems probable that you could have aphid infestations in your petunias. They are a soft, succulent plant. Aphids really love to go for that new succulent growth on plants. It's a definite, probability. What was the other plant? Petunias and
knockouts.
Yeah,
knockout
roses.
Okay. Yeah. So I've seen aphids being a huge issue on roses early in the season when they're developing as well. But I think we can control. I think we can do some control for aphids, and it's going to look a lot like what we talked about earlier in the session for controlling those soft-bodied insects. Just making sure that you can catch them early and examining your plants in those top growth areas where they're the most tender, because that's where they like to kind of huddle around. You'll see them all around buds and the tops of the new growth on the roses, and getting treatment to them, and then following up 7 to 10 days later with another application to make sure that we're controlling all of those life stages for when we've killed the adults on the first dose and then allowed for those eggs to go on into maturity, and so we need to hit them again. And I don't know why she's having such an issue with aphids now when she didn't have the issues before.
Yeah.
Like, that is the crazy question. Has something else changed in the environment? I don't know. Is there a crop that maybe a weedy crop that they used to love to be on that's no longer there now, and so they're trying to find a new host? Could possibly be an option.
I mean, aphids are something that there are natural predators. There are, and so I would, just question about: Are you spraying hard for something else? Could we be knocking out some other populations of beneficials that had been an asset? And the other thing that I would say is just confirm that it is aphids that we're seeing. White flies and the caskins of aphids sometimes can look similar. So and under some circumstances, white flies could be more challenging. So just just make sure.
Just make sure. Okay. And Celeste, you were talking about controlling aphids. So what would you recommend as a control?
Again, going back to what we talked about before, you could try insecticidal soaps. We could move to horticultural oils, and then moving on up the scale to permethrin-based products would be the best route. I will caution folks that carbaryl does not control aphids, and I have people who that's kind of their cure-all that they use on everything in their garden spots, and that will not be effective on aphids.
Hope you enjoyed the video. We would love to get more questions from you, so be sure to leave us some comments.